Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Bomb Life Podcast. I'm Melissa Vogel, your host. Welcome to the show. This episode is literally going to blow your mind. You guys are going to learn things that you can apply, like literally right now with me during the episode to change your brain. It is that cool. Okay, so before we dive in, hey, welcome to the show. Make sure you like and review our show. Give us 5 stars if you feel that's appropriate. You guys, the reviews and the stars and everything help so much. Leave a comment. They do a lot for the show. As always, go back and listen to all of the episodes. You don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out on just the knowledge in general, getting to know me, getting to know the show, all the experts that we have on here, more about my journey, how to keep moving forward, how to grow. We're talking nutrition and mindset and muscle and growth and, like today, the brain, all of it. And we have great discount codes too. You don't want to miss out on our discount codes. A lot of our codes are very, very unique and companies don't give them out anymore. They don't do discount codes like they used to because the cost of products has gone up so much. These poor companies, they're like, we can't even afford to do like an influencer code anymore, which I don't blame them. You know, it's like, I got a business. I know what it's like. So the codes that we do have are very special and very unique. And hey, every 10, 15, 20% off that we get, it's totally worth it. So always go back and listen. And then as always, you guys follow on social media. If you don't follow me, like, what are we even doing? It's Melissa Vogel, and you can send me DMs over there. I have found that a lot of people like to contact me over there versus sending an email. Um, I don't know why. I think they just like it's more personal, whatever. And like, whatever, I'm over there. I hang out. So send me a DM. It's Melissa Vogel. Follow me on Facebook. If you're not in our free Facebook group, you guys should get in there. It's our free VIP group. Go over to It's Melissa Vogel. And you'll find it. We'll put a link to it in the show notes too for you, but get into that free group. We are running challenges. We're helping you stay motivated, accountable, and it's just a free thing that we do. And if you're looking to change your journey and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing isn't working, or if you got sucked into the massive weight loss and you're like, my skin is hanging on me and I need to put on muscle. I'm getting a lot of that right now. You guys book a call, contact me. If you don't want to get on the phone, send me a DM, send us an email. It's melissavogel@gmail.com. Let's have a conversation around it. Maybe that means becoming a client. Maybe it means joining my group. Maybe it's just getting an online program. Maybe it's just, hey, we talked for 30 minutes and I send you in the direction that is a fit for you. We don't know until you take action steps. But if you don't want to get on the phone, send me a DM. We can go back and forth that way. It might take me a little bit longer because DMs have been getting flooded, but hey, I'll get to it eventually. But I'm hearing that a lot. And people are like, I did this and I lost a ton of weight, and that's great. I went from 170. I had someone I was talking to the other day, and they're like, I went from 170. I'm down to 150 now. And they're like, I am not happy with the way I look. And she was saying how she's just been chasing this number. She's like, I got the number. I'm in the 150s. I've wanted to be 150s for like 15 years and I'm here. And she's like, I can't stand how I look. I'm like, well, fuck. Like, that's not cool. And I'm like, what did you do? And I'm not going to share all of her details and information, but there hasn't been weightlifting going on in there. And she's like, I'm actually weaker. I'm not carrying around all this weight anymore. She's like, I'm weaker and my back hurts. Like, she's like, lifted up her arm. She's like, look. And now look, I'm waving my arm around. Look, that shit moves, but I can also flex it. There's a big difference. So you're not going to get your arm to stop moving and have flab. But if there's muscle in there, that shit's not going anywhere. And that's what we want. And she doesn't have. So if you find like that's the case for you, because you guys, you want to know what the secret sauce is, you want to know what the fountain of youth is, it's weightlifting. It is weight training. And we want the body to match the mind. And today we're going to talk about how the mind can match the body. So go to the show notes. There's going to be a lot of information. You're going to find more information on how to reach out to our guest, read the book, and you're going to want this book. I think I'm going to make it the book of the month next month for our Busy to Bomb group. Like it's that cool. And we want the brain to match the body and the body to match the brain. But how do we get there? Especially if you're someone that's like, I'm not feeling motivated, or I feel like there's so much going on in my brain, I can't shut it off. This episode is for you. So today we have Dr. Izzy Justice on, and he is a sports neuroscience scientist. He's an executive coach, author, keynote speaker, like you name it, this man does it. And he is the Chief Neuroscience Officer at Neuro 580. Dr. Izzy Justice has conducted more than 18,000, but he said on the episode it's closer like in 23,000 EEG brain scans during real world performance, not in theory, but in the moments that matter. So he's doing these brain scans on athletes, professionals, in the moments, doctors, when it like matters, and across elite athlete, champions, golfers, UFC fighters, executive leaders. And he keeps seeing the same pattern. When clarity disappears under pressure, it's not a motivation problem. It's a brain state shift. Wait till you hear this conversation, you guys. I'm like getting goosebumps up my arms talking about it again, because today I sat there and I was like, wow, holy shit. And he shows us neurohacks. He shows us 3 neurohacks during this episode. We'll probably edit and fast forward a little bit, because there are times where it's just dead air because I'm doing the thing that he taught me to do. So don't go by that time frame. Well, maybe we'll cut and edit a little bit shorter, so you're not just sitting there listening to dead air while you're driving or listening to this episode, but take the time and do them. And he has these neurohacks in his book. His book is called Life Explained, Chasing 10 Hertz. And what 10 Hertz means, like what the hell that means, you're going to learn in this episode. So he's taken over 2 decades of applied work, and it led him to develop neurohacks, these rapid science-based back techniques designed to quiet the mental noise and restore focus in real time. Rather than teaching people to like push harder in his work, it centers on simple truth. Stress alters attention and decision-making before we're even aware of it. So born in Zimbabwe and shaped by both endurance sports and neuroscience, Dr. Izzy brings lived and science perspective to one core idea. Performance doesn't vanish because people aren't capable. Think about that. It vanishes because they don't recognize when pressure has shifted their brain out of state-required accesses. During this, I think it was the second one, we do 3 neuro hacks on the episode. And the second one, he's like, how'd that feel? And I opened my eyes, and you'll hear me say this. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to lie. I literally felt like I was starting to get high, because the frequency of my brain and the hertz was dropping and coming to a 10. Like, you guys, I'm so fucking excited for this episode. You have no idea. I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. So I'm going to stop talking because we need to get to this episode. It's that good. And you can apply these today. So listen how he explains this. Listen how he explains how the brain works and what we can do and the control that we can take. All right, you guys, go to the show notes and enjoy the show. Dr. Izzy Justice, welcome to the show.
Melissa, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, excited to share some knowledge with your audience.
I am too. I mean, you are the Chief Neuroscience Officer at Neuro 580. Like, you are a sports neuroscientist, an
Yeah.
executive coach, like you're an author, keynote speaker. Dr. Izzy, what don't you do? What don't you do?
No, that's the amazing thing about being human and understanding how the human brain works is
Mhm.
I think we're living under this false paradigm that we are one thing or we're one dimensional and we're only supposed to do one thing, yet our capacity to be so many different things. If you look at some of the greats from centuries ago, like a physician, they were artists too. They were singers. They were painters.
Right?
They were explorers. They were no well-defined professions. And I think once you understand how to make your brain curious about your experience, like
Mhm.
how is this happening? How can I entertain myself? How do I make sense of the chaos around me? Then the boundaries go away, and you just begin to explore your physical capabilities, your emotional breadth, and your intellectual capacity.
Right, right. Well, you have done, like, all these live, what are they called? EEGs of
Functional brain scans.
functional brain scans, and what you're finding out, like, we get pitched, all the time, like, people that have on, and I was, like, reading about what you did and what you're learning about the brain and, like, the key to performance and why people, um like, high achieving people, you're saying that, like, they don't burn out because they're, like, weak and just, like, tired, like, there's actually a reason behind it with their nervous system,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'm just blown away. My
yeah.
first question I have to ask, how did you get started in this? How did you start going down the path of the brain and, like, the
Yeah.
neuroscience?
Well, the honest answer is is quite painful. I grew up in Southern Africa, and I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. I was abused by my father, and
Mm,
I grew up in outside of the home as well. It was just a very challenging time. I was the sixth out of seven children, so by the time I came along, I didn't have a voice in my own home,
yeah.
and so I was trying very hard from as far back as I can remember, Melissa, to make sense of the chaos around me. Nothing made sense.
Mhm.
For example, I mean, I can give you so many. I didn't understand how a father could abuse a child. I mean, I'm a father, and different from mom. Like your dad is the male figure, is the strongest person in the house. You expect your dad to protect you. So that didn't make sense to me, and it didn't make sense to me that I was singled out. So the journey to explore and understand this chaos in my head started way back then. But
Yeah.
in terms of the actual neuroscience, it really came about because none of the other frameworks that I'd ever studied or explored or experienced made complete sense to me. It made a little bit of
Hmm.
sense, like even psychology. I view psychology not as wrong, and I may offend some people here. I don't mean to. I truly don't mean to, but I don't view psychology as wrong. I view psychology as an outdated science.
Mm,
And by that I mean, in order to understand our lived experiences, we typically go by what we see and what we hear.
right.
We don't look inside the human brain. Like, why is someone yelling? Why does someone have this thought? Why does someone exhibit this behavior? And the analogy I give everybody, let me share this analogy and then I'll pause and share a few more data points, I think up front that might be very helpful for you and your audience. But I always tell people, imagine that you have a beautiful cabin up in the mountains somewhere and it's by a river. It's just gorgeous. And every morning that you wake up, you grab your favorite beverage, you go to the deck, and you just listen to the sound of the river right there. But there's a bag of trash that comes somewhere upstream. It gets lodged just outside of your cabin, and you are looking at it. So there's a problem there. So you walk out, you grab the bag of trash, you put it in your trash can, and you enjoy the rest of your day. And
Mhm.
you do that every day. Now, is the better solution not to go upstream and say, well, where is this coming from every day? Let me stop it there so I don't have to do this every day. So that's what neuroscience is. The
Hmm.
brain really is upstream of everything. It is where your past and your future come together, and it dictates how you think, how you feel, and the behavior that you have. Your brain controls all the other organs, like we have a heart, a liver, a kidney. These do essentially one thing, but your brain is the quarterback of all of your organs and
Right.
all of your motor function. And Melissa, what is really troubling to me, and I don't use terms like that lightly, is all of us. I don't know how old you are. I don't need to know how old you are, but um, we've gone through school and, elementary school, middle school, high school, college. We've had so many good people come into our lives. We've read books, we've listened to podcasts. Like, how come in all of those experiences, we were never taught about our brain? Like, the one thing we are going
Right.
to use forever for everything, like somehow that was left out of it. So that doesn't make sense. And so that's the mission I am on is, because I am able to look into the brain functionally, and maybe it's
Hmm.
important to make that distinction. So clinical versus functional. Most of the research around the brain is on the clinical side. Something is broken,
Yeah.
Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, epilepsy. There's a neurological. So you go to a hospital. You don't go to a coach. You go to a hospital and say
Hmm.
something's broken. My memory is bad, or I don't have a motor function, or I shake, or those kinds of things. How do I fix myself? So that's a clinical scan. That's not what I did. I did functional. So functional means regular people like you or me. And if you're an athlete, I just want to make the free throw. I just want to kick the ball. I just want to make a
Right.
golf shot. Many athletes, when my phone blows up, they don't call me because they got beat by somebody else. They call me because they got beat by themselves. Like, they'll say, "Hey, doc, like I trained and I was ready, and like I made a bad decision over here, and then I just choked over here." And that's what drives people nuts, is that in the moments that matter,
Yeah.
why can we not retrieve our knowledge, our skills, our training? And so that's functional. So what I did was, it's 22,000 plus. I'm still doing them. Did a few yesterday, but I've looked into the brains of people in the 10 seconds to 30 seconds right before they want to do something amazing. That could be, if you're an athlete, make a free throw, kick a ball, throw a ball, something that requires accuracy.
Hmm.
Or on the non-athletic side, I'm trying to problem solve. I'm trying to be creative. I work with a lot of artists who write music, and sometimes they have writer's block.
Hmm.
And so I started to ask myself these questions like, is there a pathology in those 10 seconds, 30 seconds
Right.
before someone does something? Does the brain look a certain way when you do something amazing? And does it look a different way when you don't, when you underperform, when you underachieve? I didn't know, honestly, the answer to that question. Like, I'm looking at the brain, I'm like, okay, what does it look like? And the answer is not just yes, but hell yes. Like, every time. So I have this phrase, like, every higher human ability, like what you can do,
Hmm.
and every higher human experience, it's all happening in like one frequency in the human brain. The brain has electricity. And the higher above that frequency you go, the odds of you doing what you're fully capable diminish. And so I'll pause
Interesting.
there. I'll pause there and let you ask a few questions.
Well, you would think that the higher frequency, the better, and I think I don't know if it's because people always use the term like, you want to vibrate on a higher level, or like we want to
Cliches.
vibrate up here and this person's vibrating down here. You want someone to match your vibration. And you're saying it's like the exact opposite. The
Yeah,
higher level our brain is vibrating,
it's not good.
the less it's
Yeah,
not good.
yeah, yeah. So,
Fascinating.
yeah, so let me give you a scale that I think your audience will get. So the scale is 0 to 100-ish, okay?
Okay.
It's a little more complicated, but for the purposes of this conversation, 0 to 100 is a very simple scale,
Okay.
and this is in hertz. Hertz is the measure of electricity in your brain, which is electricity is the language of the brain.
Okay.
So from 0 to 5, which is very low, we are sleeping. Now, if you think about it, that makes sense. When you are sleeping, what is your brain doing? Not a lot.
Mhm.
It's not talking to anybody. It's not watching something. It's not writing something. It's not going anywhere. It's not reading anything. So the workload on the brain is less, right? Now, if you go to, let's say, 80, 90 hertz, that means your brain is working very hard. So when you're in that frequency, you're yelling, you're screaming, you're angry, you're mad.
Okay.
The magic happens around 10, which is very low. So when I work with athletes, I say, when you're at your best, like, how are you feeling? And they use terms like, I was very calm. Things felt very slow. They're not slow. So if you talk to any athlete in any sport, they will share that. They'll say, "Oh, everything was so much bigger in my brain. It was slow,
Yes, I've
even though
heard
I was
that.
moving fast." So that is reflective of a lower frequency in your brain. That means your brain is performing very high, but at a low cost. So 10 hertz, which is just above the sleeping, is a calm state. Calm, focused, happy, optimistic, confident. All these lay terms that we use, they're happening at that. The higher above 10 you go, to 20, to 30, then there's more noise in your head. Your brain is thinking about consequences. And for example, if somebody's shooting a free throw,
Hmm.
when they shoot a free throw, just before they shoot a free throw, their brain says, well, don't leave it short, or someone's watching,
Right.
you know,
Miss.
don't miss, the coach is going to yell at me. Those thoughts are all 40, 50, 60 hertz thoughts because they are retrieving memories that are negative. So your brain is working harder.
Hmm.
But if he or she is shooting a free throw and they say, oh, the ball's going to go right over that spot on the rim, like that's a current state stimuli. You're using your eyes. So it's a low frequency.
Right.
Like, so that's the magic is every higher human ability and every higher human experience is happening around 10 hertz. So then the next question becomes, well, how do you get people to be in 10 hertz? Not
Right.
all day long, not
Right.
all lifelong, but literally in the 10 to 30 seconds before you want to do something amazing. And think about this, Melissa. It is such an easier ask of self that in order for me to be the best version of myself, emotionally with my loved ones,
Mhm.
intellectually at work, or physically as an athlete, in order for me to be the best version of myself, not somebody else, of myself, I only need to manage the 10 to 30 seconds before that moment. That's an easier ask. Like, so no matter
Right.
how much chaos you have in your life or what's going on or da da da, you know, that that you can do if you
Yeah.
understand how the brain works.
Yeah. Okay. I was watching a reel, and this is making sense now more and more. I was watching a reel you did, and you were talking about, you started out by talking about human addiction
Yeah.
and how it's essentially just a way for our brain to get down to a lower
Yes.
frequency, right? So
Yeah.
when people vape or sex or drugs or whatever their addiction may be, you're saying that that's a way. That's all our brain is trying to do is to bring that frequency down.
Amen, sister. Amen, amen, amen. All of human experience, all of it,
Hmm.
eating, walking, talking, is a chase towards 10. So in my book, I just wrote a book. It's a bestseller. It's my 10th book. The
Life
name of the
explained.
book, Life Explained, but
Life explained.
the subtitle is called Chasing 10 Hertz. And I make a claims, and I give a lot of research there that in all of our human endeavor, whether I'm going for a workout, whether I'm talking to my kid, whether I want to play a game or watch a movie, I'm trying to chase that. I'm trying to get my brain to calm because at 10 hertz, the noise is so low that I'm experiencing my human
Oh
experience.
my God. This is so like when you're talking right now and you just said like working out or I don't know. it-
The days are longer, the calendar's filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, so I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with code PODCAST at Gruns.co. That's code PODCAST at GRUNS.co.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
This is so true, because when I work out, like, my brain, it's done, it's calm. I'm just focusing on my set, my rep.
Exactly.
Like, my brain doesn't, and it took years of like training this
Yeah.
way. Before, I'd sit there and I'd be like, what do I have to do? And I couldn't shut it off. And now it's like, nope. Like, and now that's one of the reasons why I think I enjoy working out so much. It's
Yeah.
not a fight or a struggle for me. It's like habit, because, and this is making sense, that's my brain's happy place. My brain
That's your brain's 10 hertz.
that's my 10 hertz.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's the same thing with all addictions. Like if you look at, and I'm going to go a little morbid here and I apologize, but
Go for it.
all addictions as well as all suicides, like we've done so much research on suicides, both successful ones and not successful ones.
Mhm.
And so whether you're an addict, any gambling addict, sex addict, alcoholic, all these, they only have one thing in common. Like it's not their age or their race or their economic status or their educational status or where in the world they live. It's not that. It's the noise in the head is really high. If you read suicide notes, I don't recommend people do that, but if you really want to understand
Yeah.
why someone would do that, one of the more common phrases is, "I just want to shut off the noise."
Yes.
Like some version of that phrase
Mhm.
is very common in suicide notes. So, and honestly, I believe that people do that. They're addicted, they're suicidal, they're depressed, not on the clinical side, but because they don't understand how the brain works. They don't know how to lower that noise down.
Yeah.
So that's where in the book and our research, we invented these things called neurohack. A neurohack is something that you can do in those last 10, 30, 40 seconds, even a minute or two, before you want to do something amazing. And let me just clarify the term performance. I know we associate that to athletic performance or workplace performance,
Yeah.
but the way that I define performance is any human experience that you want to be your best version. So I have two kids. My daughter just graduated college, and she has a job up in New York City. I don't see her very often when she left home. So every time I did see her, I wanted to be the best dad. I wanted to be
Yeah.
fully present. I didn't want to check my phone. I didn't want my thoughts to be thinking about what I had to do tomorrow or yesterday.
Right.
So that was my performance. We don't think of those experiences as wanting to be our best. So I just want to make the point that human performance is not something, like athletic or, oh, I sold, my sales were this much, or I invented that, or I wrote this amazing lyrics to a song, or those kinds of
Mhm.
things. It can be just anything where you want to be the best version of yourself. And I'm making the claim, Melissa, that in order to do that, we have to change the way that we have to think about that, because the brain is extremely powerful. So when people call me, they typically call me with phrases like, "I don't have confidence." And to me, that's a cliche, because confidence is not a thing like your eye or your nose or your liver or your kidney or a neuron.
Right.
It's a term that neurologically, from a neuroscience perspective, what that means is that in those moments, the 10 to 30 seconds before you want to be the best version of yourself, your brain is not retrieving all the experiences that are relevant to you to execute this next task. So let's take a golfer, for example. The golfers and all athletes who lose confidence, they've hit millions of shots. But when they're in that 10 to 30 seconds before they have to hit a shot, they're remembering the bad ones, not the million good ones. So confidence is an access issue. Your brain isn't accessing the right inventory. The
Wow.
roadblock to the access is a higher frequency. So anytime the higher you go from 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, your access to that gets lower. That's where optimism comes into. Optimism and confidence are the same thing. These are English words, they're labels, they're not real things. And that's where things like flow and being in the zone come in. Those are not real things either. It's just a word. Now, understand what they mean. They were framed by good people who wanted
Mhm.
to understand. But everyone is saying, "I want to get to 10 hertz. I want to get to 10 hertz." That's what they're really saying. So I can teach you and your audience like 2 or 3 neurohacks, And just to show you, and they can do this just as they're listening, what 10 hertz feels like and how they can do it in those 10 to 30 seconds, a minute or two. That's all you need. That is
Really?
all to ask. Yeah. You want to
Okay.
do one?
I do want to do one for sure.
Okay.
I have to ask a question though first, because we briefly kind of talked about this, and I want people to understand that you're not talking about like this woo woo stuff. Like these scans, you said you're up to like 23,000 now.
Yeah, just north of 22,000. Yes.
So this is actual data that you've collected that you can see
My
that
team and I, yes.
the human brain is doing this. Like you have
Yes.
proof.
Yeah, so it's in the book. It's on the website. You can actually see the scans. We have posted them. We've written white papers.
Wow.
Like 2.5 years ago, we followed 10 medical doctors for 3
Mhm.
consecutive days. And we put a band on their head, and they had their medical cap over the band. So we saw that they had a
Oh
device
my
on their head.
God.
And we literally followed the 10 of them. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we have 32 million data points. Even to this date, we haven't processed them all. And we measured their brains. And again, the videos, the actual data that you can go look at and challenge. It's all on the website neuro580.com. And now that's more nerdy science stuff. So in the book,
Uh-huh.
I tried to write it in a more lay term
Okay.
so that the everyday person could sort of understand it.
Okay. I was wondering how you did them too. Like, how do you do these scans on an athlete when they're shooting a ball or something? So
Yeah.
this is a portable type thing that they can
Yeah,
wear and take with them?
wireless. So
Huh,
in
huh.
my view, and I've talked about this in my books and other podcasts and when I speak, um, our understanding, Melissa, of the human experience fundamentally changed dramatically around the year 2015. So, that's a bold claim I am making, but I think what led to that was wireless technology. So we could look
Mhm.
into the brain prior to that for 100 or so years. But number one, you had to go to a hospital.
Yeah.
You had to put a big helmet on with 500 wires coming, be very, very still. Right? Now, how many things can you do when you're very still?
Right.
And it was simulations that have you think about stuff. When wireless technology was invented, it's something that goes over your head, kind of like the hat that you're wearing. And I'm standing 10 to 12 feet away. So there's plenty of room for you to move or think or whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
And I can stand behind you, beside you. And I know how to do this so that there isn't, I'm a scientist, so we control as many variables as we can. We avoid placebo effects and we have a control group and all those kinds of things. And then I'm saying, okay, in those 10 to 30 seconds, if I can get you to 10 hertz, then whatever you are capable of doing, whatever inventory of life experiences that you have, the concoction, the cocktail of which would lead you to a new idea, a new thought, a good thought, a
Mhm.
pleasant thought. Like in moments, I think you told me you're a mom. There are times when you're a mom and you just magically say the right thing to your kid. Like you don't know where it came from.
Right.
But and your kid says, "Oh, mom, that was awesome." So I will tell you, in that moment, you access something in your brain because you didn't go Google it in that moment. It came from your inventory. Those words that inspired her, that helped her. I assume that you have a daughter. Sorry,
3.
um, three daughters. Okay, so I mean that inventory is not Google's inventory. It's inventory of your experiences.
Right.
So accessing the right inventory at the right moment is magic. I mean, that's what makes you feel alive. So
Wow.
even when people say, "Oh, I just want to be in the moment. I just want to be present." Like, what does that mean?
Mhm.
That means in that moment, there's not a lot of noise in your head, so you see more, you feel more, you taste more, and in that low frequency, you're saying and enjoying that moment. So again, I keep saying, all of us, human beings, whether we know it or not, we're chasing 10 hertz in almost everything that we do. For you, it's working out. For me, it's
Yeah.
playing golf or reading a book or listening to music or cooking. In those moments, I find myself not thinking about a million thoughts in my head, but the moment that I am in.
And do we all have these natural moments do you think that are like, for example, I can think of someone who's like cuddling. It's not even like sex. And they're
Yes.
like, I had a client tell me this. They're like, I just want to cuddle. Like my brain,
Yeah.
they said it, my brain shuts off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we all have a natural?
Yes, human touch is a very powerful neurohack. I actually have a video where, uh, if you look at you'll know the teams, the sports teams that I work with,
Mhm.
because every time they have a timeout, all the players put their arms around each other's shoulders in a circle. Because that touch of someone touching you in a timeout, because we feel human, that sensory input of somebody else's hand on your shoulders
Yeah.
is extremely powerful. It dilutes that noise. The noise is always consequential. It's always this happened or that could happen. I better
Mhm.
do this, and the brain is retrieving a lot of negative inventory. But let's do a neurohack.
Okay.
Let's see what 10 hertz feels like. So
Okay.
I'll teach you three, and these
Okay.
are three that you can learn right now, and you can teach all three of your daughters, and your audience can do them. So first of all, don't start until I say go. So I kind of yelled at you there,
Okay.
but because the reason I did that, Melissa, is because I need to explain it to you so that you do it correctly, so that you can experience it. So
Okay.
don't start. So when I say go very loudly, which is not now, in your mind, quietly, in your mind, I want you to count from one. So this neurohack is called 10-10. I want you to count from one, not now, from 1 to 10, literally as fast as you can. Don't mumble, but just say the numbers as fast as you can. As soon as you get to 10, go back towards one the exact opposite way, literally as slow as you can. Like drag the 10 to 9. So it's called the 10-10. I want you to go from 1 to 10 super fast. And I want you to go from 10 to 1 super slow. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go. What is going from 1 to 10 feel like to you?
Insane.
What did going from 10 to 1 feel like?
Forever.
Did you feel what?
My body, by the time I got to like 8, I felt myself take a breath. I almost felt like my shoulders dropped for a second. I'd be curious to go back and watch the footage of me like sitting here.
You should watch the footage because your jaw relaxed.
Did it? Yeah.
Yes,
And I just naturally closed my eyes too. You didn't tell me to close
yes,
my eyes.
yes. So what if I told you that single 10-10 that you did, how long did it take, first of all, to do that?
The whole thing?
Yeah, going to 10 and then back to 1, like
I don't
10
know.
seconds?
Yeah. It didn't take
Okay,
me very long at all.
all right. What if I told you that is the cognitive equivalence of anywhere between 5 to about 20 minutes of traditional meditation, mindfulness, yoga, taking a walk, listening to
What?
music? Yeah, not the physical, but the cognitive. And if you go to the website, the video of what you just did is there, right? So that is by intentionally increasing the frequency of your brain and then intentionally slowing down, you're acting essentially your vagus nerve and you're telling your brain, I'm not in real danger. So as you were going from 10 to 1, I'm sure that you felt things were getting slower in your head. Literally your face change,
Yeah.
because you have, when you talk, like there's an intensity in your face,
Mhm.
which is fine. That I'm not judging you. I'm just reporting.
Right.
But as you were going down, like your face relaxed, like your entire jawbone completely. You should watch the video,
Okay.
right? So what I'm saying is that the cost of getting to 10 hertz is 10 seconds. Now, did you need to buy something to do the 10-10?
Nope.
Do you have to go somewhere?
Nope.
Do you have to change your clothes, like into
No.
gym clothes or something? No. So in other words,
Hmm.
the ask is get to 10 hertz in 30 seconds to a minute before you want to do something amazing. And the cost of doing that is about 10 seconds,
Yeah.
right? Let's do one more.
Okay.
Okay. I want you, again, don't start until I say go very quickly. Okay.
Okay.
Don't start. Take your hands and put them together in front of your face like so.
Okay.
So if you're listening, these are her two hands are the palms are sort of facing each other. Now, Melissa, your left hand is not going to move. Your left hand is going to be a mountain that the fingers of the right hand are going to climb. Don't start. We're going to climb the palm of the left hand with our fingers 6 times. The first 3 are going to be super fast, right? The last three are going to be super slow. When you do the last three, I literally want you to feel the fingertips of your right hand, feeling the palm of your left hand. So it's called the three fingers. We're going to go three fast and three slow. Are you ready?
Ready.
Go. All right. How do you feel now?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It almost feels like the very stages of getting high.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
Exactly.
explain it.
Literally, exactly. That's
When I
exactly right.
Yeah, when I started to go slow, I don't know, I felt that shift again and like
So when people are high or doing any types of drugs or those kinds of things,
Mhm.
they're chasing 10 hertz. They want the noise to go away.
Did I
And
do it
you
right?
really,
Going up and down?
yeah. And you just did how long did it take for you to do that one?
Oh, maybe like what, 40 seconds, 50, not even a minute.
Yeah, I would say about 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I lose track of time when I'm doing it.
Exactly. And that's another attribute of being in the zone, of being in the flow state is time expands.
Oh
It
my
feels like things are
gosh.
slow. So any child, any person of any age can do the 10-10, can do the three fingers. How often do you have your hands on you, Melissa?
Yeah, yeah, always.
Always.
They're never
Exactly.
not there.
Right. So that means that wherever you are, I just taught you two neurohacks. You can access the best version of yourself. And the time that you need to do that is the moment prior in the 30, 40 seconds before you want to do something amazing. Or if something triggers you, like you're driving and someone cuts you off and your brain spikes.
Right.
In that moment, you can do the 10-10, you can do the finger stuff, and you can lower the noise down, right? Let's do one more. Last one.
Okay. All
Ready?
right.
So tell me out loud, like maybe a rhyme or something that you used to sing to your girls when they were babies. Do you have something in mind?
Um, yeah, hush little baby.
Hush Little Baby? Okay, I used to do
Mhm.
that too. Okay. Now I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and when 30 seconds is over, so I'll say start or
Okay.
go, and then I'll say, okay, stop. So keep doing it until I say stop, and start when I say go loudly. I want you to just close your eyes and hum that song in your mind, not out loud, but in your mind. Are you ready?
Mhm.
Go. So you should go back and watch this video because while you were doing that, you looked like a baby. I mean, there was just calmness in your whole body. You looked very
Really?
relaxed. How did it feel like to you?
It felt extremely relaxing.
Yes. Now, do you need to buy something to do that? Is there any
No.
location in the world where you cannot do that?
Nope.
No. So
Oh
again,
my god.
think about how much easier of an ask it is for ourselves. In order for us to have a richer human experience,
Right.
we only need to manage the minute or so before we need to do something amazing. There's too much noise in our brains to fix everything in our lives. It's
Yeah.
there's so many variables. I don't have money. I don't have a job. I'm not in a relationship. Blah blah blah. These are big macro level problems. They're not going to go away. We can't manage those, but we can manage the minute before we want to do something amazing. When we want to perform our best, whether it's athletic, professional, or personal, right? We know what those moments are. I have a business meeting. I have a game time. The game's going to start. Whatever it is, we know those moments very clearly when we want to be the best version of ourselves.
Mhm.
And in those moments, these are the kinds of ways, because they're based on neuroscience now, we know that 10 hertz is magic. Every higher human ability and every higher human experience is happening around 10 hertz. So the magic, the simplicity of the
Right.
human experience is just get to that. And I find when people do really good at what they want to do good at,
Mhm.
that's confidence. And it has a trickle down impact on the rest of your day and the rest of your things. So instead of trying very hard on everything or trying to be perfect at everything, just pick the times, the one or two times in each day that you want to be the best version of yourself. And that's enough. I'm going to say something weird. It won't make sense. And there are not many people that would actually say this in my line of work. But people need to understand that their average is good enough for average situations.
Hmm.
Your average is good enough. When you go to the bathroom, you don't have to be in 10 hertz.
Right.
right? When you're driving somewhere, you don't have to be in 10 hertz. Let your mind wander, go wherever it needs to go. So, but your average is good enough for average, but get to 10 hertz when you need to be your best. And the
This is
cost of getting is 10, 15 seconds. That's the cost.
right. Well, and this is like I work with very like high achieving professional CEOs, and so many of them, they have like a horrible day, or they're firing people, or like things are going on, and they pull into their driveway and they have to switch, before they go in, and now their wife or husband and deal with kids and family, and this would be so perfect for them to do just in
Yeah,
that car and make that switch.
yeah. And all
It's
the neuroscience around this, I know our time's up, but all the neuroscience around it's in the book. So the name of the book is called Life Explained,
yes.
and the subtitle is Chasing 10 Hertz. So now the book and the title make sense. But the book is available. People can read about it. The website is neuro580, neuro580
Yes.
.com. The literature, the science, I encourage even the pessimists in your audience, go read it, like challenge it, like,
Right. Well, just do
and
one of these techniques. Like,
yeah,
holy crap.
like what other evidence do you need? You felt
I-
it.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Oh my God, Dr. Izzy, this was incredible. Like one of the episodes that is like could be life changing for someone.
Thank you. Thank you so
This
much for having me. I really
right
appreciate
here.
it.
Yeah, we'll put everything in the show notes. We'll put links to the book and social media and everything in the show notes so people can find you and follow you. This was great. If you have more books and information coming out, like do not be a stranger. We would love to have you back. And I know we're gonna get a lot of feedback from this episode too, so I'll make sure we pass it on to your team.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
like,
Thank
"That's
you very
people love
much.
this." This was awesome. So everyone go check out the show notes, read the book, Life Explained, Chasing 10 Hertz. This is phenomenal. I cannot wait to dive in and learn even more. Thank you again, Dr. Izzy. This is
All
great.
right. Cheers.
Everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Until next time. The Bottom Life podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The content shared here is not intended as medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any health, fitness, financial, or legal decisions. The opinions shared on this podcast are personal experiences and insight. So if you need expert guidance, go find the right professional for you. Thanks for listening.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.